Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and today I've got a pretty cool video plan for you. Been planning this one out for a couple of weeks, and truth be told, I was out at the track a little while back and I saw a really cool build on an RT, and I thought I need to have him on the channel. Well, today we're going to have Chris on the channel with his RT. He has done something pretty darn unique to it. I've talked about it in the past. Should you supercharge your RT? Well, he did just that in a very unique way. So today we'll meet him. We'll check out his car. It should be a ton of fun. If you guys are brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. You can find that button right over here. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for all my new content, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
All right, here is our man Chris, and here is his RT. And as you've probably noticed, he has done something unique to his RT. That, of course, is a Hellcat blower. So Chris, maybe tell me a little bit, just to kind of start out, why you decided, first of all, what year is the car?
It's a 2015 Challenger. 2015
Challenger RT, so 5.7.
Yep.
And then you decided just recently, right, to go, how long have you had the setup?
Since December on the car. I actually had a blower for about a year and a half. I bought it 3 weeks before I bought the car, and it sat on my workbench an entire year before I decided to put it on.
Okay, all right, so you've just had this, you kind of had this plan for a while then.
Yeah.
All right, and now all of a sudden it's on the car. You've had it on for a few months, and so really, what is it? What made you decide? Look, I'm going to throw a Hellcat blower on my RT versus all the other, supercharging systems that are out there.
So I have a buddy at work. We were actually talking about going to do the Christmas tree drags down in Bradenton, and he goes, "Well, the fastest or the slowest car there is like 8 seconds," and I was like, "Well, my car's not going to do that." So here's my credit card, and we started buying parts for it.
Okay.
And 3.5 weeks later, this was born.
That was born. So
Yep.
So you've had it done for a few months, like we said. How have you liked it so far?
So far, it's great. Little few issues here and there, but that comes with all the tuning and being new to this whole blower on my motor world, and it's been great though. Good reliability, great power.
So as you can see, he's got his street tires on today. He's actually got the same drag radials that you would get the Nexans off of the 1320 on his normal street setup. And but what I want to talk about is what you had to do to get this blower installed. Let's step over here to the front of the car and talk a little bit about what you had to do to install a Hellcat blower on an RT, because this is a question I get a lot. Should I do it? Is it hard? Well, maybe you can answer that question since you've actually done it.
It's not hard. I did it in the garage with a buddy of mine. We did about 3 weeks, only really working about 1 or 2 days a week on it. To get it on though, really, you got to pop the intake off. You got to get the adapter plates.
Okay.
They're stuck down in here. You might be able to get them.
Yep, see them right there. Yep.
They
Catch can, of course.
good catch can.
Yep.
Then it bolts right on. After that, you have to cut the top of the timing cover to make that fit.
So that's really interesting you say that. So this right here, with a normal Hellcat blower, that simply doesn't work with the way the RT's engine is designed, correct?
Correct. No, you have to get the Metco pulley system or one of the other pulley systems designed for the Hellcat. You have to put on the hub and then flip the pulley in order to make it line up with the RT driveline.
So you learn from your experience, right? So
Yes.
so you got to make sure you have the right pulley setup
Right.
that extends out to here. Now this belt to me looks a little bit thin. Like a lot of the belts come out a little further. I did notice that as well.
Right. Well, the normal Hellcat runs an 8 rib. Obviously, with it being the stock driveline, you have to run the 6 rib.
Okay, got it.
That's why it's like that. You center it on that pulley though, and there's no issues.
Okay, so is this the stock intake? What intake is this from?
This intake is off of a 2017 Red Eye.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks like a red eye intake to
It
me.
is a
So
Red Eye intake.
okay, so what about throttle body? You have a stock throttle body
Stock
on there?
throttle body.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so how many pounds of boost are you running on
I'm
this?
at about 10 pounds of boost.
You're running 10 pounds of boost
10
through an
pounds
RT, and so far, the car is happy, right?
Right. It's very happy, and it's on a stock bottom end, stock internals. No modification to the motor other than putting the supercharger on.
So you just threw a Hellcat blower on it, and you're like, let's just go for it,
Yeah,
right?
we'll see what happens.
So a couple other things I've noticed, and being a guy that's had Hellcats and stuff in the past, there are several things that look a little different to me. I just want to point that out. Obviously, this is just capped. When you talk about the map sensors up here, that map sensor's not plugged in. Tell me why that is.
So on a stock Hellcat harness, it runs 4 map sensors. On an RT harness, you don't have that. So what you do is you take the IAT sensor,
Okay.
you run it to the back, and it plugs into the map sensor as well. There's a harness that you can purchase through MMX,
Yep.
which turns that sensor into your IAT and the map sensor you need to make this car run efficiently. This sensor is not needed at all
Okay.
because it's
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of them are kind of just capped or not anything in there. But if you're running an RT, a 5.7, there's literally one map sensor instead of 4.
Right,
like
they're
you
there
would get
just
on
to
it.
plug the holes.
Yeah. So just no junk gets in it or anything like that.
No.
But you had to buy a special harness, you said, from MMX.
Yes, it's right here. It runs along the side of the motor. It takes the IAT sensor, brings it all the way back, and then it plugs back into the map sensor behind it.
Okay, got it. So let's talk a little bit about fuel real quick, because I know a lot of people are going to ask this question. What kind of fuel are you running?
93.
93. So did you have to do anything to the actual, like the fuel pump? What all have you done there?
Right now I'm running a stock fuel pump. I did have to custom make my own fuel line.
Okay.
Because the RT fuel line is 3/8, but the 1/2 inch is on the Hellcat fuel rail.
Okay.
So I had to custom make that. And I will be putting in a Scat Pack fuel pump this weekend to get more fuel, to get more
Okay,
power.
so no booster pump or anything yet.
Nothing.
But you've already run this car at the track, so you know it works.
Yes.
And so far, you're pretty happy with it.
I'm happy with it.
Oh man, dude, this is wicked that you just kind of threw it on there, because so many people ask if you can do it, and I've always said, look, I don't know if it's a great idea, and you've kind of proven that it can be done with a little bit of just ingenuity and perseverance.
Definitely.
And it's working for you.
It works great, honestly. I'm happy with it. I would probably do it again in the future if I had another car. I don't plan on getting rid of this one. I'm gonna keep going until I can get the most out of it.
Dude, that is so cool. So what kind of power? That's what everybody's gonna ask, right? What do you know what kind of power the car makes with this blower on it?
I have no idea. There is no dyno sheets on this car yet.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, I don't think you're making like Hellcat power in this car, obviously with a smaller displacement, right?
No, definitely not. Not at this point. I'd probably, if I had to take a guess, I'm definitely in the 5s over what the factory is.
Okay.
But I
5 to
don't
the
know.
tire now. Let's be clear.
I would maybe. I'm taking a guess.
I need you
here.
to get this thing dynoed, man.
That's gonna come in the future.
Oh,
Maybe in
man.
the recent future, now that this is coming out.
Yeah, no, this is super cool. You'll get a lot of comments on this, but I just wanted to kind of show your work here. He's done a lot of little things to kind of make this car work, but you're running, your standard fuel rails, all that kind of stuff. 93 octane, as was mentioned, has done nothing to the fuel pump. Basically just strapped a Hellcat blower to his RT, did a few modifications, obviously, like we talked about right here with the harness to make sure the map sensors work, stuff like that, but he's done it, and this is pretty cool. So something else I did not want to gloss over, because as we know, the Hellcat coolant system is very different than what you get on the RT. So what are you doing to keep this car cool?
So the plumbing and everything's the same, just like a Hellcat. Up here you have your coolant tank, the lines, not as pretty as a Hellcat using the aluminum lines, but
Right.
for my build, we ran hoses. I have a front mount intercooler made by PLM.
Okay.
And then I have a Bosch intercooler pump tucked right up under here.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah, just a good look at the intercooler there. Okay, so now did that actually come with the supercharger, or did you have to buy that separate?
It did not. So everything that I bought, most of it was purchased off of MMX.
Okay.
A lot of things like the intercooler, I did purchase separately because the one that they provided was just not big enough.
Okay, got it.
And then all the hoses, your local AutoZone.
So when you look at the coolant gauge, everything looks really good in terms of keeping the engine cool. I would assume you're sitting there right at basically the halfway point on the gauge, or just
When
below.
I'm daily driving it, yes. When I'm racing, it gets a little high, but it doesn't actually heat soak.
Okay.
I am going to do more for cooling modifications later on down the road, get a little bit better cooling, because at the racetrack it does get a little hot.
Yeah, I can see that. So definitely got to give it some time to cool off. So what's this on the side of the car, by the way?
So my whole car is Deadpool themed.
Oh, it
So
is Deadpool.
I had custom Deadpool badges made.
Kind of hard to see on the camera, but that is a Deadpool, and you got one on the other side as well.
I got one on the other side. He's sitting on my dashboard. It was between that and like an Iron Man theme, but I like Deadpool better.
You like Deadpool, nice. You got the RT, you got the RT stripe on the side. So tell me, what else have you done to the drive line? Have you done anything to the drive line at all to shore it up?
Nothing to the drive line.
Okay.
Everything is all stock. The whole
Okay,
car,
so do you plan to change over to like a different drive shaft, anything like that?
if I break it.
Okay, so
If
it's
I break it.
break it and fix it.
Right, that
What
part.
about exhaust? Have you done anything there?
Yes, there is.
Let's walk around to the back of the car
muffler
real quick.
change.
Okay.
I used a Black Widow Angry Housewife, which was given to me by my lovely wife
Angry housewife.
as
All
a
right.
gift. And there
So it
is
looks
no
stock.
resonators.
Got it. So maximum effort. I love that. So really, I mean, other than just basically putting the Hellcat blower on here, you haven't done a whole lot. It's kind of a sleeper.
It is. the RT really makes it a sleeper too. Everybody keeps asking me if I'm going to take it off, if I'm going to up badge. I said, no, I'm going to leave it exactly the same, because when cars see that the RT, they think it's just another slow RT.
Yep, no, that's cool. I think there's a cool element. That's how my Mustang GT was, right? Is a sleeper, is made to be a sleeper, and it surprises people. So I really like that. What do you think about taking the car down the road?
Yeah, let's take it down the road.
All right, let's get it. All right, Chris and I are now aboard his RT with a Hellcat blower in it, and I got to imagine it's going to sound a lot like a Hellcat.
It does.
But we'll go ahead and roll it down. I mean, that's what you hear, is that supercharger whine. So we'll go ahead and run it down the road a little bit. I just want to listen to it, kind of feel the power, and give you my impressions. Yeah, you don't even hear the blower, just that, you know, idling around. You're not really hearing much. We got a little straightaway here, though. Oh man, that is impressive.
It is.
One of the things about the RT that I've kind of always been a little bit bummed about is the fact that when you really start gaining speed in the RT, the power really tends to fall off. I mean, the 392 to some degree, it's got all that low end torque. The RT, you know, when you get up to higher speeds, I've done the 60 to 130 test and stuff on it, it's pretty slow. This doesn't feel slow at all. It definitely has a lot of pull.
Not anymore. Prior to doing the blower, I did on its stock engine, I had brought it up to 145, and like you said, it does get up there kind of slow. It took me a long time to get there with this.
Yeah.
I haven't done that again, but I can say it'll probably do it in about half the time. We were cruising at about 55, and I dropped off at 100.
I think it's probably even quicker than that. Like, especially that, like, you know, we didn't go that crazy fast, but you know, really when you start getting up into the triple digit speeds is when you really notice the RT's power kind of start to fall off.
Right.
You don't feel it in this. You definitely feel the thing start to pull, and it just goes. And that's the great thing, and that's a big difference between driving a Hellcat and then of course driving like a naturally aspirated 392 or a 5.7. So have you had a chance to actually race like a 392 guy, like a 6.4?
No, I did race against the Hellcat. I was only 2 seconds slower.
Okay. So, and we know this is a smaller displacement engine, like we talked about, a 5.7 versus what, a 6.2,
right?
Built 6.2 in a Hellcat. So certainly a difference there. But the car feels strong. I'm pretty impressed.
And I was only giving it about half a pedal.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even giving it all of it.
Yeah, car feels good.
It is. It does great. There have been a few issues with the tuning, partially on my fault. I did put the wrong gas in it at one point. But other than that, the tuning's been really great. It's done by Shop Hellcat down in Fort Myers. I can't give them enough praise for what Drew has done to this. So big shout out to him, and he will be doing more tuning this weekend on it.
So you've had the car to the track. Obviously, I saw you at the track. How fast has the car gone? A lot of people are probably going to want to know, how fast can you go with a, you know, a Hellcat blown RT?
Well, right now, that was my first major track event since putting the blower on.
Okay.
And we got about 2 data logs and only about 2 good runs.
It was a busy night, wasn't it?
It was a busy night. So
yeah.
There was about 130 racers there. So I didn't get a lot of runs. We didn't get a lot of tuning in, but from what we did, I went from being a 13.1 stock motor down to a 12.6. Again, we plan on
picked up a half second just by changing the tune up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said,
there's more in it for sure.
We plan on doing it again this weekend and making it even faster. I'm predicting, and so have a lot of my friends, at least a low 11 car.
I think I was going to say, this car feels to me, just by the seat of the pants, it feels very much like a maybe low 11, mid to low 11 second car.
Yeah. Right now, I'm maxed out on my fuel, but with the new fuel pump going in this weekend, it should definitely help.
Make some adjustments, and still on 93 octane, so that's great as well.
Still on 93.
Yeah.
And it's like we talked about earlier, it's daily driven. It gets driven to work. I dropped my kids off at school this morning, and it's just a great, fun car at this point.
Yeah, and the Hellcat blower sits underneath this hood without issue.
There was a little issue in the beginning.
Okay.
I had to take out the heat shielding. I had to raise the hood stops, and it still rubs a bit. I had to raise the support brace in the back underneath the cowl about 1.5 inches to give the motor the room to twist under torque. So
okay, so it was starting to hit just a little bit.
It was hitting.
Okay, so you had to make those adjustments.
Rub. Eventually, I will get a demon hood though to make it properly fit.
Got it. Nice. Oh, it feels so much stronger than a regular RT. Man, I've always loved the RT trim, especially on the street. It's just a sweetheart of an engine, and it's just a really great driving car. But man, this car feels really nice and strong on that pull.
And even at 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, you don't even really feel it too. It's a nice, comfortable ride.
Yeah.
It takes the speed well, it takes the power well.
All right, well, we just got back to our little spot here. Chris, congratulations on the build,
Thanks,
man.
man.
I think it's really cool that you're making this thing sort of your own. You're making it unique, and you've got more plans for the car.
I do.
So here's the question I wanted to ask you, and this is probably what a lot of other people are wondering as well. Is it worth it, right? I mean, you know, you went with a different direction. You threw a Hellcat blower on it where you've got other options. You've got Whipples out there and ProChart. You've got other things you could have chosen from that are like ready to go kits. So if you were going to do it all over again, was it worth it? I mean, you used some ingenuity to make it work.
It took me, and like I said, my buddy Trent from work, he helped me, and then it was a lot of help too, because he did a lot of the designing on getting this put together, as far as tapping the valve covers and things like that. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would. At first, no. I was like, that was a lot of work, but we did it in a rush. Give it more time, give it the time it deserves and needs and the attention it needs, and yes, I would definitely do it again.
Yeah.
I would change a few parts maybe. Okay. I would actually probably go with Hellcat valve covers, less work in that area, but I would definitely do it again over a ProCharger or the Whipple.
Really?
Because it's unique. No one, as far as I know, where in my area, no one has one.
No, I that's why I want to do a video with you. I haven't seen somebody do this kind of setup.
Right.
And the way you've done it. And I think that's really unique. And like I said, so many people ask me, can you do it? And you've proven
it's
that you
doable.
can do it.
It's definitely doable.
I really hope that the engine, you know, is happy for a long time for you. That's my biggest worry, right?
Me too, my friend.
Is like when running that much boost, will the engine hold it? Because I've always advised people, like, hey, don't push it too hard with these RTs, but you're just like, screw it, I'm just gonna go for it.
Well, like I said, my tuner has it up to about 10 pounds. We don't have a gauge on it, but that's what HP tuners reads, about 10 pounds.
That's about right, yeah.
So we're gonna take it further. We're gonna take it as far as we can take it. If I blow the block, well, then we'll put a different block in it.
I love it, man. And he does drive this basically on a daily basis, so a lot of people are wondering that.
Yeah, it is a daily car. I just dropped my sons off at school this morning in it. I take it to work, and I take it to the track.
What a fun car.
All we do is swap the shoes in the back.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations, buddy. I appreciate the time.
Man, thank you for coming out.
Awesome,
I appreciate
my
it.
friend. Well, guys, that about does it for my review of the Challenger RT with a Hellcat blower on it. Chris has done a really good job with the car. He's having a blast with it, has big plans for it, but I just think it's cool when somebody kind of takes a car like this and makes it their own. I have told you guys in the past, I've always said, keep your boost low. He's just gonna go ahead and push it and see what it will do. And I've got a fair amount of respect for somebody that's willing to do that and just kind of push the limits and be like, hey, you know what? If I break it, I'll fix it or do it better. And I think that's really cool. Let me know what you guys think. Would you strap a Hellcat blower to your RT? Let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.